welcome back to another video. Today I am making my One Piece prediction upcoming to the final war arc. Now of course in the One Piece manga we are up to the Elbaf arc, with Loki recently getting freed in the most recent manga chapter. Of course, if manga spoilers have come out for I think One Piece chapter 1143, I mean by the time you see this video the chapter's already been out and everything, as we see the reveal of Shanks' brother, Loki's power, and the tyrannical reign, or the tyrannical power that Loki shows, as much as we see Gaban's old head feats, of course, that we've seen throughout this arc. And fantastic to see that that Gaban isn't just some weaker third wheel to Rayleigh and Roger. Anyway, back to my prediction for the One Piece predictions. Usopp's finna die. Not that I mean that the crew can't get any stronger and that Usopp is not the more luxury of the crew, but he is the comedic relief of the crew, along with, you know, Chopper, Brook, Luffy. You know, One Piece is very a light-hearted anime, and they really don't kill off characters as much. They did it with Ace and a couple of others, but they really don't do it much. I mean, Garp should have died, and they didn't kill that man. But Usopp should die in this arc, of course, because of the hype around this arc that Usopp is finally going to get his moment, that this is Usopp's arc. Usopp is finally going to climb the ranks in the crew, and he just won't be left in the lurch. He's finna be left in the lurch. And if the predictions come true, the theories come true that Loki will inevitably join Luffy's crew, what is the point of Usopp? Loki himself is a joker, trickster in of himself. He is comedic and knows he doesn't have a place on his home in Elbaf, meaning even since Luffy freed him, even if somehow Loki becomes the good person or a good guy, or if he just decides to pack up and leave and join Luffy's crew, what is the point of Usopp? Now I would like to see Usopp die in like a hysterical manner, changing Loki's viewpoint of being a trickster and being a, you know, comedic relief character, and having Usopp make him realize that should be Usopp's job. And you see Usopp duke it out with, you know, most people in Elbaf right now. I don't know the main combatants in Elbaf off the top of my head, but if he just dukes it out with, you know, a couple of enemies in Elbaf to really show off what he got, give him a nice touching backstory, of course, and more that we get from the anime character's death, and him and Loki teaming up to be the king of tricksters. You know, it's mostly Usopp and Luffy, but now it'd be Usopp and Loki. So Usopp and Loki have to fight this insurmountable enemy, or let it be Shanks' brother, just because he's there in Elbaf too, right? Shanks' brother goes for the kill. Usopp's there, Loki's there. Usopp decides, hey, time for me to do my ultimate sacrifice thing. He wants to be a pirate. He wants to live the life of a pirate. Let him die as a pirate, right? Of course. And the thing is, Usopp, though, has fantastic feats as that sniper dude. I can't think of his name. You know, does more for the crew with building, you know, but they have innovative minds, as in Frankie. They have the comedic relief, as in Brook, who's also a combatant. They have the medic in Chopper, who's a combatant. What does Usopp give you besides him being a nostalgia character that has not kept up with the crew's power-up, strength, or anything like that? That says, okay, you look at Loki, he's a trickster. He gives pranks, and he's already growing a fondness for Luffy in an extent, especially if Luffy frees him. So the fondness and contentment between the two is already there. They're already building some sort of relationship. Luffy already wants to beat Loki, and Luffy barely kills his enemies that much. And if predictions or theories are true that Loki may join the crew, let him replace Usopp. Usopp, his death should be very touching. His death should be one of the more saddest ones, and it should gear up Luffy. It should finalize Luffy's final crew going into the war, because now Loki's died to a holy knight. No, sorry, Usopp has died to a holy knight, so now Luffy knows about the holy knights, and Shanks' brother, he's become more aware about the world around him. And more, much like Ace's death pushes the plot forward and Luffy's character development, Usopp being one of the OGs from his crew should push his character more further down the line, push Luffy down a darker path, and Luffy should come off knocking heads in the final arc. Now, I don't know what's after Elbath. I don't think there's a couple of, I think after Elbath it may be Laugh Tale, but there's going to be a final war way before that. Unless it'd be find the One Piece, then Final War, but that's just confusing on its own. Anyway, yeah, Usopp should die. Not in a hysterical sense, not in hysterical. It should be very, very sad. Because if you're introducing Loki, you see Luffy is the first one to meet Loki, and most of anyone Luffy meets first, if he's not fighting them, he's going to ask him to join his crew. And Luffy is going to defeat Loki, and Loki is a king of tricksters, king of tranksters, king of pranksters, god of pranksters. We know this. I would like for him to join the crew, replace Usopp. Usopp should die, because if you're saying this is Usopp's arc, Usopp should die in this arc, just because he hasn't caught up with the crew in anything besides him being a nostalgic character towards the fan base, and he's had problems with Luffy and the crew in the past, or he's wanted to be captain of his own crew before he's fall back in line. Let him die. I think Oda's waiting to pull the trigger on this just because of how the fan reaction may be, but I think if the fan reaction and the more people it will bring more eyes to the series for Usopp's death would be fantastic. Because now you would have people rewatch it for Usopp. So, subscribe. It should be like a Neji death. You know what I'm talking about? Subscribe, and this is how you take One Piece into a darker turn for it to be as serious as the other big three. At least in my opinion. Even though One Piece still is a lighthearted show, but you could really show the real dark side with a Usopp's death. Anyway, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.